What is up? Can you guys hear me? Audio good. Checking in. How you guys doing? Welcome this kind of morning, I guess, depending on where you're at. There's, I don't know, Sesame Street drama, I guess, Sesame Place, Philadelphia, where there was a presser that was released this morning. Diggs was sending some links about it. We're going to take a look at, there was a press conference, it seems like, and there's some video clips that have been put out. I haven't even watched barely anything. I seen where the kids, it looked like they were being ignored. I just barely looked at it. I was like, let me just jump on. Let's just chill for a little bit before I have an appointment in an hour and a half. So I figured, let me just jump on and see what's going on. And there's been like an official statement made by Sesame Place, Philadelphia. Kind of get your guys' thoughts on this. You're 10 minutes from there. What's up? Good morning. What's up, Bridget? Jazz? Hoax. That's it. What happened? I don't know. Let me fix my screen here. They're saying that the Sesame Place character is racist, I guess is what they're saying. Or we're going to watch it for ourselves and see. Oops. There we go. Let me do some of there's like, I think 2 news clips before we start watching the video and the presser and like some of the footage. Put my thing here.
Sesame Place in Langhorne will now undergo special training as part of the park's response to a now viral video that was posted online over the weekend. You may have seen this video. It was posted by a mother showing a character there at the park appearing to ignore her young girls who are black. They were asking for high fives there. The woman who posted that video said the costume character went on to hug a white girl right there in the area. Well, several new videos have since surfaced appearing to show similar incidents with that very same character.
Oh no, the same character?
After an initial statement calling that incident a misunderstanding, the
Oh,
park
Lord.
issuing an updated statement acknowledging that what happened is not okay and committed to making things right. The children's mother talked about what happened this afternoon, saying she's heartbroken.
The fact that this even happened, the fact that this is even going to be a core memory for them when it comes to Sesame Place is actually disgusting and unbelievable to me.
The lawyer for the family says they plan to fight for justice, adding that no 6-year-old should be forced to live with severe distress after leaving a Sesame Place theme park.
We're going to take a look at some of the other clips. I don't know. Are people saying it was a blind spot or something?
We are entering the depths of a brutal heat.
Sesame Place is now apologizing for families' experience at the park this past weekend, as seen in a now viral video. After continuing backlash, the family venue now says it knows that what happened is not okay and that it's committed to making things right. A mother posted this video showing her 2 African-American daughters waving at the Sesame Street character Rosita. The mother alleges the character ignored her daughters but went on to hug a white child waiting in the area. On Sunday, Sesame Place initially downplayed the incident, saying in part that the performer portraying the Rosita character had confirmed that the no hand gesture seen several times in the video wasn't directed to any specific person, but rather it had been a response to multiple requests from someone in the crowd who asked Rosita to hold their child for a photo, which is not permitted. But amid the fallout, several new videos also.
It did look like he kind of turned away and looked. I thought at first he was like doing that to the kids. But it looked like he did look at somebody kind of, I don't know. We'll see. But now they're saying there's other reports of other characters that are like racist, I guess, or picking on the kids. I don't know. Let's see what's going on.
Fallout, several new videos also surfaced that appear to show some similar incidents. The park hasn't responded to those, but it says it has reached out to the family from last weekend and invited them for a special meet and greet opportunity with the park characters. Last night, Sesame Place issued a follow-up to that initial statement, saying it will conduct training for employees so they better understand, recognize, and deliver an inclusive, equitable, and entertaining experience.
All right, let's see. Let me see the other ones here. What they got here? What they got?
So yeah, something of an update. Sesame Street, or I should say Sesame Place.
Employees at Sesame Place in Langhorne will now undergo special
early on.
I'll make this shit bigger.
This statement, where they spent a good part of it, at least the second half, sort of defending the performer that was in that outfit and going on about how they didn't intend anything by it, and that's fine. But in the wake of that video coming out, and it getting a lot of attention, a bunch more videos have come out. Videos with the same character seeming to bypass a black child, and then other characters bypassing a black child. In fact, several had. She noticed and made a comment. Even more with that same character interacting with other children, but then seemingly bypassing a black child. And then another character in this very odd video where they seem to bum rush a child and knock her over. Like, I can't understand the context of that last clip. Like, is that something the character does on Sesame Street? But at any rate, with a lot of other people saying, hey, we've experienced this too. And probably on their own, it didn't seem like much. But when you start putting them back to back to back, it feels like something. Well, Sesame Place retracted their initial statement and replaced it with a statement saying that they're committed to doing a better job making.
Let me take a look at the statements. Is there any other video clips too of the kids? Let me look at the, let's see. And then we'll watch the presser and there's another video too. Hoax sent a video for us to take a look at. Maybe we should look at all the videos first before we watch the press conference. All right. Which one was the first presser? I mean, the first statement released. Let's see. We got this one. Sesame Street drama, or Sesame Place. What happened to Sesame Street? Is Sesame Street just the TV show, or did they change it? Is it Sesame Place now? Or has it always been Sesame Place? I don't know what I'm talking about. All right, let's see. So this is one of the, let's see what this is here. We get the full screen going. Oh. What are you guys thinking so far? Left screen. Canceled. Says, oh, let me take this away too. Warning. Our brand, our park, and our employees stand for inclusivity and equality in all forms. That is what Sesame Place is all about. And we do not tolerate any behaviors in our parks that are contrary to that commitment. We also are and have always been committed to make sure every family, every child has the best possible experience at our parks, and we're incredibly disappointed when that does not happen. Regarding the incident yesterday, the costumes our performers wear sometimes make it difficult to see at lower levels, and sometimes our performers miss hug requests from guests. The performer portraying the Rosita character. Oh, that's Rosita? Okay. I don't know none of these characters. So that's Rosita. Okay. The performer, but that don't look like a Rosita to me, though. That green character, that's Rosita? I guess. The performer portraying the Rosita character has confirmed that the no hand gesture seen several times in the video was not directed at any specific person. Rather, it was a response to multiple requests from someone in the crowd who asked Rosita to hold their child for a photo, which is not permitted. The Rosita performer did not intentionally ignore the girls and is devastated about the misunderstanding. We spoke to the family and extended our apologies and invited them back for a special meet and greet opportunity with our characters. We apologize to the guests, or to these guests, for not delivering the experience they expected, and we commit to do our best to earn their and all guests visit and support, whatever the fuck that means. The next, let me see. There was another one. I don't know if it's the same thing. And there was another one. I don't know. Okay, so that was 2 days ago. This was when? 3 days ago. So then they released an updated version for the second cancellation. Rosita shady? Is she? Is it a she? I don't know. What's Rosita's character? Is she shady? Are you talking about the person that did it, or the character in general on the show is shady? So the other one was, and by the way, good morning, everybody. I appreciate you guys joining by. Just want to stop in and just check this out. Please hit like. I'd appreciate it. Helps out the stream. It says here, we sincerely apologize to the family for their experience in our park on Saturday. We know it's not okay. We're taking actions to do better. We are committed to making this right. We will conduct training for our employees so they better understand, recognize, and deliver an inclusive, equitable, and entertaining experience to our guests. For over 40 years, Sesame Place has worked to uphold the values of respect and inclusion and belonging, which I thought they did kind of do. Haven't they like changed their show and stuff? Aren't they doing all this stuff now to kind of include everybody? I mean, we're talking about this specific incident, which whoever's in the costume, I don't know who it is. As far as the show, I think they've tried to change their optics, I think. We're committed to doing a better job making children and families feel special, seen, and included when they come to our parks. I wonder if they fired that person. Fired. But in this one though, well, I don't know, because he was like snubbing the person that maybe was asking for, but then he like looked at the kids and he did the same thing too. Maybe he thought they were asking for something too. I don't know. We're gonna take a look at a different video too. Rosita actually speaks out for relationships and stuff. Okay. So this guy has more video footage too, I guess. Let's see.
This is the floor. You can see yourselves. This is crazy, guys. This is crazy. This is caught live on video. Live on video. You see, giving high five to kids. And he slaps the girl. Slaps the black kid.
No,
He's
hold
giving
on.
high five to everyone.
Hold on.
And he slaps the black kid. Just watch again, in case you're blind. He's giving high five to everyone. Gets to the black kid. And he slaps her.
What?
So finally, Sesame Place has admitted to their wrongdoings, and ever since the video has been going viral, they have decided to issue a real. They basically
we saw this already.
So we
read this already. Just want to see the video clips. Oh, my bad. You say he slapped them kids, man. Damn. Oh, they're getting bombed on the reviews too? Oof. Was that a slap? What do you guys think? Damn, man. Sesame Place. What happened, Sesame Place? Barney would never. I don't know. Barney's a little sus, though, ain't he? Damn. If there's any more videos. Okay, that's it for that. They did do a presser. I kind of want to hear what they have to say. I'm gonna look for if there's any other video clips and see. How is that a slap? This is all a reach. Social justice warriors. Social justice. This TikTok shows multiple parents' videos. All right, let's take a look at I got another link. Let's try to, you know what I'm saying, give the benefit of the doubt. Well, not the benefit of the doubt. Let's just give it a fair chance across the way. Oh, they want me to log in. That's why I can't make it bigger. Hold on a second. Before we get to the presser, let's see the other videos. How the hell do you maximize a video on on TikTok? Jesus Christ. I don't know. Anybody know? I don't know how to maximize it. I guess we can watch this one until I figure it out. Let's see. Oh.
Who said it's okay, Big Bird? That girl that was snapping on the front. Hey! You wanted a down. Right. You wanted the hot bomb.
Okay, so they show some more clips. Let's see what else. So this is Rosita's character. Rosita. Which I guess is kind of almost irrelevant. I mean, that's the person that's the puppet in the costume, I guess. Rosita is a Muppet character on the children's television series Sesame Street, fluent in both American English and Mexican Spanish. She is the first regular bilingual Muppet on the show. Rosita comes from Mexico and likes to play the guitar. Canceled. Again. Okay, so let's see. Let's take a look at the presser. Oh, they brought the little girl too. All right, let's check out what they have to say. What's up, Cheeks? You are late. Can I move myself here, maybe? Some Sesame Place stuff going on.
No. You're welcome. And are you gonna do Facebook? Is it on? Can you see us?
So I wonder, was it just, I mean, we've seen the other clip, but was it just that one character? Is it just one person or whatever? Or what's going on? They're saying the characters just can't see. That's what Sesame Street said. They said they don't have like a field of vision or view or something. Are they going to go for a lawsuit, I wonder?
I will. I'll do my best. All right. Ready? All right. Good morning. I am attorney Viari Lamar. I represent the interests of the two families, Nyla and Skylar Brown. I'm joined here today with Tamika Mallory.
Tamika Mallory, oh boy.
And
here we go.
Freedom, along with the family of the Brown family, along with attorney Zaire,
I think she's a nice person.
Tony Mahoney.
I mean, I've heard of her name. I don't really know about her. She's like an activist.
To the city and state of New York, to the state of Pennsylvania, to all the concerned families across this country who have stood in solidarity with the two girls of this incident. We want to give a special thanks to so many public figures who have lent their voice out for this matter. Attorney Ben Crump, Kelly Rowland,
Ben Crump,
Will Packard, Trader Truth, T.I., Johnny Gill, and so many more I failed to name. To all the mainstream and independent journalists, activists, organizations, and the community who stood in solidarity for these two 6-year-old girls. On behalf of the families, we want to say thank you. Today is about our future. And if we truly and genuinely believe that the children are our future, we must continue to protect them at all costs. Today is a day of accountability and a day of reflection as to what we tolerate in our society. What has taken place at Sesame Place this past Saturday, in the months and years prior, is utterly disgusting and unacceptable. My firm has been retained to investigate the claims of the two girls in this incident, and we also stand in solidarity with every family, every child who has suffered by the hands of characters of this theme park or experienced any level of discrimination. This is not a time to just stand by and become passive while our children are being punished. We cannot and will not allow our children to leave a park feeling empty when they should leave feeling empowered. To our community, we cannot embrace a culture when we are comfortable with simply pulling out our phones to capture racism, but hesitant to address it when it comes about. And that's why we're here today. That's why we have come in the vicinity of Sesame Street to address these issues on the national level. I want to be clear. We are calling for justice not only for the two girls who suffered on Saturday at Sesame Place, but every single child, every video that I received, every email, every phone call, my office, Ben Crump's office, Tamika Mallory's office, has experienced at the hands of this incident. We've come to learn that what took place Saturday is not an anomaly. But what we've seen is business as usual. To deny, to defend, and to delay accountability. An incident like this should not have to go viral for the harms to be properly addressed by corporations in this country.
If you guys could help me out with the like button, please, I'd appreciate it. Thanks.
At the onset, we reject any notion that the performers' actions this past Saturday was anything short of intentional. I know our black girls are magic, but I didn't know that they were invisible. We are tired of your excuses. We are tired of justifications. We will not tolerate racism in this country. We will not tolerate it in policing. We will not tolerate it in our health systems. We will not tolerate it on our jobs. We will not tolerate it in our schools. And we most definitely will not tolerate it in our theme parks directed at our children. Don't tell these families that you stand for inclusion and equality, but then destroy their confidence in their spirits of these young children, and then go back to business as usual. The audacity of some to say that this matter is about money.
Oh, shit.
No, this is about principle, and hopefully you have some. The only thing that is being sold here are the dreams and the illusions of a happy place at these theme parks. You told these kids for years, come and play. Everything's okay. Friendly neighbors there. That's where we meet. Can you tell me how to get to Sesame Street? Then once these kids figured out how to get to Sesame Street, their families traveled for hours to get there. They paid the price of admission. They paid whatever price for your food, your clothes, your beverages, your clothes, and your toys. And they find out once they get there that everything is not okay. They reach out in open arms to these friendly neighbors for what? To be dismissed? To be rejected?
Groomerville. Yeah.
And to leave your park feeling inferior. If you don't respect the dollars that keep you in business, we will respect our right to not continue to give them to you. The time is now to do right by these families. The time is now to right these wrongs. Or, in the words of Kermit the Frog, life is like a movie. Write your own ending. With that, I will now bring Tamika Mallory until freedom.
Thank you, Attorney Lamar. I want to read to you all a little history that has been noted about Sesame Place from the Smithsonian Magazine. First of all, let me just remind you that my name is Tamika Mallory, and I am one of the 4 co-founders of Until Freedom, a social justice organization. The Smithsonian Magazine says that Chester Pierce, an African-American psychiatrist and Harvard professor, helped design what he called the show's hidden curriculum to build up the self-worth of black children through the representation of positive black images. Pierce also insisted the show present an integrated, harmonious community to challenge the marginalization of African Americans that children routinely saw on television and elsewhere in society. More history. Jackie Robinson, in fact, yesterday we celebrated his wife Rachel Robinson's 100th birthday.
For the people that are just joining, I'm gonna replay the videos again so we can see what they're talking about. And I'm looking on Twitter now, and that I see there's other videos. Jesus, some pretty crazy videos. So we're gonna take a look at it. They're saying this little girl, a black girl, was ignored purposefully. Sesame Place said that the characters, well, they said that the hand gesture was to not directed at any specific person, supposedly, and that those costumes, I guess, like the view they're saying is not, they can't see everything. But we're gonna take a look at some of these video clips. There's more I think I'm seeing, so we'll check it out.
Jackie Robinson was one of the first to do an advertisement for Sesame Street. Nina Simone made the show's hidden curriculum explicit when she joined 4 black children on the stoop in 1972. This is the history of Sesame Street, which Sesame Place is supposed to be a product of. So we are not here today because we're just upset about something that happened at a park. We are here because the history of what this park is supposed to represent has been denigrated. Our communities have been disrespected when the entire history of what this park is supposed to be about is the opposite of what we saw, not just in this video, in the video with this family that is standing here today, but in so many more that have come forward. What we have now uncovered is that, unfortunately, discrimination is in another area of our society, and it must be rooted out. I was asked, why are we even having this press conference today? Someone said to me, just shut it down. We should just not go to Sesame Place anymore. And in fact, Until Freedom issued a warning to other black families last week where we have told folks to be very careful, which means that you should be careful about where you spend your dollars and how your children are exposed, especially in light of the way that Sesame Place has responded. But the reason why we are here is, one, I've told you about the history. The second thing, though, is that our children will not be disrespected. We will not leave our children unaddressed and unprotected. And therefore, we are here today because we want to send a notice not just to Sesame Place, but to all of the theme parks across this country, that if you are found to be participating in discriminatory behavior against our people, we will drag your name through the mud.
Oh, Jesus. They're looking for everybody now.
We are here today to ensure that Sesame Place and others know.
I forgot that guy's name. He's an activist too.
This behavior will not be tolerated. When I watch those videos, and particularly the video that Jody posted on her page, showing her babies and the reaction of her own daughter's face after being disrespected by this character, I was heartbroken. But I waited. I waited for 24 hours to see what would happen, because I was sure, my organization, we discussed whether or not we should put out a statement immediately. But we were sure that Sesame Place would do the right thing. We just knew that their statement would be an apology, period, without any equivocation. That is not what happened. Instead, there was gaslighting and complete disrespect to our communities and to our eyes that somehow we did not see what we saw. We were basically told that it was raining on us, but that there was no water. We saw it with our own eyes. And so the statement that they put out was a disrespect, it was a slap in the face, and it caused more harm to Jody and her family and these babies because they also believe that the right thing would have been done. It is unfortunate that Attorney Lamar has had to get involved and that others have had to advocate because we noticed and we know that this theme park has not taken full responsibility and accountability for what happened. First thing is that the employee behind that character should have been fired. Immediately fired. Period. There's no need to go around it. There's no need to go up and down and to try to make excuses. That employee should have been fired immediately. Second of all, instead of telling us about history that obviously you don't really know yourselves, because if you did, the apology would have been stronger. The statement would have been stronger. The immediate response, the small response, this is something that's not even a big deal. Because to be honest, training is good, but it is not enough. It is not enough. But immediately, the bullet point, right? It's like one of those things that they just say everywhere. Whenever there's discrimination or people feel there's discrimination, immediately companies throw out, we're going to do more training. They didn't even do that. Instead, the statement that was released gives me the impression that the employee...
Hannah in the chat says, and thank you guys for joining, by the way. Hannah says, per friend that's been a costume character, any shorter child close to a character cannot be seen. My friend is black and petite. She's wondering if people thought her character was racist. What? And she's wondering if people thought her character was racist. I don't know, man. I don't know. I've never been in one of those costumes.
He is behaving the way that he's behaving, or she is behaving, because they do.
We might have to do that. We might have to get a costume on for the video.
The statement let us know that the apple does not fall far from the tree. And so today we have gathered to let it be known.
We're gonna watch some more videos, though.
The social justice community supports this family. We support all the families, and that we will not stand by and be silent about something. In fact, just like we have time to.
You know what would be crazy though? Just is it devil's advocate? Not the devil's. What do they call that shit? Oh my god, playing devil's advocate. I think, right? I think that's what it's called, right? An advocate for the devil or something. The opposite side. Imagine somebody puts together a video of like white kids. Let's say that the character. Let's say like this was whatever, like some sort of coincidence. Imagine somebody out there puts a thing together of white kids that like the costumes didn't see or ignored. What would happen then? Would that cancel this out? Devil's advocate.
Today is actually the birthday of Jalen Walker, who was shot at 90 times in Akron, Ohio by police. We went there last week. We stood with that family last week, and we are standing with this family today because racism anywhere in this country deserves to be addressed. And we ask that all of you, not just black families, but even those who are our allies, to know we are being disrespected at a park. If you stand with us, you should stand with us on calling on Sesame Place to do better, to fire the employee, to have more training, and also calling on SeaWorld to speak up about what has happened here. Do not think that we don't know who owns Sesame Place. SeaWorld, we know this is your high time in terms of tourism. And we will make sure that every person around this world knows that we are not being treated fairly. And that for us is our statement. Thank you. Sorry.
We will take a few questions. We will say that there has been a couple change.org petitions that have been out that has been out recently. So we're going to urge the public, the community, to support those change.org petitions. Okay. Yeah, the official one has been dropped today under Until Freedom with Tamika Mallory. It's the change.org petition that we have called to address this issue.
Could you just tell us what your thoughts are on this stage? You can step up to the podium.
As you all may have seen the incidents that I have done yesterday, I just feel like the apologies were not.
This is the parent.
And I believe that the apologies are not being put out, being that it has caused so much uproar. And I just want them to be able to do the right thing, being that me, my niece, and my daughter have all suffered one, embarrassment, discriminatory behavior, which we should not have to endure in these days and times.
What would you like them to do to make it right for you, man? What's the right in that?
Yeah, there's several things that we've already said publicly that we would like Sesame Place to do specifically. Number one, it's a very simple one, a formal apology. And what we mean is not just, somebody just giving a watered down something to pacify us. We want a genuine and authentic apology. Okay? We want the acceptance of responsibility here. We don't want some explanation that, the performer didn't see these two young girls, which one of them is in isolation today from the harm that has been caused by this company. The second thing that we're requesting is for the immediate termination of...
Somebody said, I don't know if this is true yet, okay? Because I'm trying to find out about this. I just got a phone call from James Terry. I'm like, oh my God. Because he's like, I want to call it. I want to talk about this. I'm like, fuck. I'm already canceled for covering this topic. Then having James on there, but he might redeem the stream. I don't know. But somebody said here, fire the employee. What the F? That's BS. The employee is black. So I don't know that's what they're claiming. I'm trying to look into it. Maybe somebody can dig into it and see. Because that would be some ish too. Wouldn't that be interesting? I don't know what the guy is, but if he was black, imagine that, right? Who is this person that was in the puppet character? We are going to take a look at some more videos though, because I am being sent other videos. So I'm going to let this play out. We're going to take a look at some videos. This is kind of like a topic, I guess, that's kind of blown up. I don't know how interested people are in this, but I was like, let me see what is going on with the Sesame people. Also, when I was talking to Terry, he had told me that there's been other incidents, like with some white bunny character. I don't know the whole thing. If I call him after this, maybe he'll break it down. He said there was like another history of this or something. I don't know. So maybe he can say it. Bruh, that would be what? Imagine that though.
Of that performance. The third thing that we're going to request is we're going to demand that they take care of any type of health care or mental care expenses that these children have realized. Mental illness is real.
That's right.
We deal with these issues all across the country. It only takes one episode sometimes to have a dire consequence. So we want to recognize that and make sure that they're taken care of in that regard. The next thing is that, again, as we go back to the first apology, I will tell you right now that we have information that we possess. We're going to give this company, they got less than 12 hours to come out with information with a very genuine and authentic apology, or we're going to put out evidence showing exactly what took place in addition to the video that you've already seen.
Evidence about this incident?
Yes.
They got 12
I can tell
hours.
you that we've been missing each other over the last couple of days as far as communications with Sesame.
By the way, this presser just came out. This presser like an hour ago. This is brand new. This presser this information, I guess. But this happened over the weekend, I guess.
Place. I will be reaching out again to them today. They have contacted my office this morning, so we will be reaching out to see if we can start a dialogue.
Ms. Brown, how has this affected your daughter?
More than the character walking away from the kids.
No, what we mean by that is that it's going to be confirmation of exactly from a different perspective of what took place after the video stops.
Ms. Brown, can we ask you, how did this affect your daughter?
One question at a time, please. Well, the family has already confirmed that you see what happened before. There were two Caucasian families, and there was a lady that the character slapped the hands of afterwards. Immediately thereafter, this family has came forth without the confirmation at that time, and they told you that performer immediately embraced another child immediately after rejecting the two girls. Now, we now have evidence of that, and we also can prove that the first statement that this company released was completely bogus. If we're going to give them a certain amount of hours to go forth and go ahead and tell us what really happened and accept real responsibility for what took place.
These brown houses, when you come to the microphone, how is this affecting your daughter?
For little children, they should not have to experience such hurt and embarrassment from a character who's supposed to bring joy. So now, in the future, who knows if they would want to be acceptable to be acknowledged by a character, or who knows what trigger points this might have for them for the future.
Is she suffering any consequences now?
Suffering what?
I was sad, I was pissed, and immediately just go to the rescue. Because the first thing as a parent is you want to defend your child and you want to protect their innocence.
Yes, I did. No.
Can't hear anything they're asking.
Yes, we have been contacted. I did tell you yesterday that number was probably about 10, 11 families. I'll tell you today my office has probably received upwards of 25 to 30 different contacts by families with footage spanning years with various characters. Similar complaints. Expanding months and years beyond what took place Saturday.
You expect that you build a class, file a civil rights claim against them based on everybody that's
we said before that we're currently investigating. Obviously, we got to, do our diligence. But as we said at the onset, that all options are on the table. Now, the last thing that we want to do is file a lawsuit. We don't want to have these young girls have to go through a process that could take months or years to try to resolve. That's the last thing we want to do. This is not about money, okay? But they do need to take responsibility and make sure that these girls get the adequate care that they deserve. I think that is completely bogus to say that they're too, to blame it on the costume. Again, that's what I said before. That is the posture that this company has taken, is to deny and to delay responsibility in this case. So again, if you look at the costume, how come they can see everybody else? They can see everybody before these young girls, and they can see everybody after and interact with them. More importantly, if you really take a close look at the video, the actor completely looks at the young girls. She's walking in a straight line, and she moves her body sideways as to dismiss them. Okay, that's very evident. So again, so now blame it on the costumes. If you want to blame it on the costumes that lead to severe emotional distress these kids are now realizing, then that would be a negligent act on another negligent claim that we would make, because that is foreseeable. You have kids in a park. The purpose of going to a parade is for these kids to interact with these characters.
We should have somebody put on the costume. Yeah.
That's what they did. That's what they expected.
Let's put the costume to the test.
What about that idea of there being a woman trying to hold up her child?
That claim will be completely disputed tomorrow.
Wait, what? Wait, what? Ah!
It's false. Her body sideways as to dismiss
What about what?
Okay, that's very evident. So again, so now blame it on the costumes. If you want to blame it on the costumes that lead to severe emotional distress these kids are now realizing, then that would be a negligent act on another negligent claim that we would make, because that is foreseeable. You have kids in a park. The purpose of going to a parade is for these kids to interact with these.
Should we do a costume test? Should we buy a costume?
That's what the song on Sesame Street says. That's what they did. That's what they expected, and that's what they deserve.
What about that idea of there being a woman trying to hold up her child?
That claim will be completely disputed tomorrow.
What?
Another negligent claim that we would make.
I don't know what he's saying.
That is foreseeable.
Another woman holding up their child?
Park. The purpose of going to a parade is for these kids to interact with these characters. That's what the song on Sesame Street says. That's what they did. That's what they expected, and that's what they deserve.
What about that idea of there being a woman trying to hold up her child?
That claim will be completely disputed.
I think he said, what about the claim of an idea holding up their child? And so maybe that's trying to get the attention. Maybe I think that's what he said. And so maybe that's why he didn't see the kid.
Dispute it tomorrow. It's false. We believe it's false. It's not. It's going to be. We're going to give the company a third opportunity to get this right.
I just want to say that on the costume piece, I think first of all, Sesame Place certainly. Oh, sorry.
Thank you.
Sorry. My big mouth. I think on the costume piece, first of all, if that is the case, that the costume has some blind spot, then the costumes need to be changed and the customers don't need to know anything about it. That is an internal policy issue that they need to address within Sesame Place. But it should not have been in a press release to address what we all saw. Right. I believe that Sesame Place, first of all, needs to do some internal firing and hiring of their own team. Because whoever did the PR statement, it's very clear that they need racial bias training as well. Right. That individual wrote a statement in a way that has caused more harm in the climate within this nation where we are dealing with extreme issues around race relations. So that tells me that the sensitivity within the company needs to be addressed from the top to the bottom. And unfortunately, I know, people don't like to hear us say it, but the reality is that while there may be this positive history around how Sesame Place started, infiltrators are everywhere in this nation. People who carry discriminatory behavior and beliefs. And that means that the company needs to be telling the public, not just this family. This family, one, they have been harmed. But there are people who are now across the nation afraid to bring their children to a place, your children, your babies. We want to protect our babies. So this company should be telling the nation about all the things that it's doing to correct behavior that would even put them in a situation where people feel discrimination took place.
We will say that the Sesame Place has reached out to the family to ask them to come back. But again, that pales in comparison to the harms that have been realized. This mother here, she tried to resolve this issue immediately. Okay? This wasn't about any publicity. This wasn't about any money. This wasn't about anything. She went to management immediately at the bar. She showed them the same video that millions of people across this country and the world have seen. The Sesame Place had an opportunity to see that video at that time. They chose to reject it. They chose to dismiss this family. So now, wanting to invite the family back now, no.
Right.
We won't accept that. You're going to do more, and you're going to do more, not only for these families, but for families across this country.
What exactly did they say when she showed them the video?
That there wasn't no supervisor available in that park at the time. That love always came, and not everyone is a bad person. So you may have encountered a bad person that day, but I'm going to make sure that they know that there's millions of other people who are here to support them and love them.
That type of statement, even though I don't think that is sufficient, I think that type of tone should have been addressed immediately. Right. That tone should have been addressed when my client here, Ms. Brown, went before Sesame Place at the onset. That should have been their temperature then. It shouldn't have to go viral for them now to come and say, oh, we're going to address these issues. After you completely rejected that there was any intentional act at all. Why do you need bias training if the acts were not intentional? If it was an oversight because of a costume, why do you need bias training? How does bias training help you if you can't see out of a costume? Explain that to me. Bias training is meant to prevent intentional acts. It's a certain mindset that you have. It's a certain that might be deeply rooted. But again, I don't think bias training, carries out racism. I think that is something that is imbued in a person. They need to get fired. The only reasonable action that this Sesame Place can take at this point is to terminate that performance.
You got the child in isolation. as a result of the child's isolation?
I mean, obviously these are emotional harms that are real. You know, while others might not accept the reality of what takes place, especially with a young mind and young children. So as a protective measure to mitigate any further harm, this family has chosen the option to keep her in isolation at this point.
Can you name another theme park that you now have gotten information on that might be behaving in the same way?
We are currently only investigating Sesame Place at this time. Again, I think that this is a lesson that all theme parks, as Tamika Mallory just talked about, that they should, pay attention to this and also review their policies, procedures, their training, and take the corrective action that's necessary.
Do you believe what happened here was a racist act against those two children of color and their mom?
I think that is the only logical deduction that you can make when you see what happened before and what happened after. And because America has not seen what happened after, we'll show you tomorrow.
They're saying he should put on a costume.
We are open to dialogue. We said that from the beginning. I mean, we want to live in an America whereas everyone feels protected, regardless of color. I mean, we should be well beyond this. I mean, the year 2020 wasn't significant enough to be able to raise and put attention on these issues. I mean, now we got to do something. We have to heal as a country, and it can't come at the cost of harms to our children.
Put the Muppet on trial.
Right now, again, we are investigating at this point. We are not gung-ho about filing a lawsuit, okay? We do not want to have these kids dragged through a litigation process, all right? We just want healing. We want this theme park just to do the right thing. That's it. It's that simple. We are here for principle, not money. We're here to make change and effectuate change in this country, and it's long overdue. Yes.
My name is Jody, and it's spelled Jodi. Brown.
So if they do programs, let's say Sesame, they say, okay, we're going to do this inclusivity training program. We're going to train everybody, the whole stuff. We're going to turn everything around. Is that it? Is that sufficient then? Then they wouldn't do a lawsuit? Or what would be sufficient is what I'm wondering.
Brown, like the color.
And what's your daughter's name?
My daughter's name is Skylar. Skylar, and this is my niece, Nyla. That's Nylah.
Skylar Brown?
Skylar Brown. This is my niece. This is my niece.
Oh, that's your niece. I'm sorry, her name is?
Nyla.
Spell that.
Nylah.
I'm going to take a look at some of the videos too. James wants to call in. He loves the topic.
And what's Nyla's last name?
Brown.
Brown. That's your niece.
That's my niece.
And that's the one who's here today.
We said lawsuit for me.
I will make one guarantee. It's not about money. I mean, no matter how much money Sesame Place would offer, that's not going to change a culture.
Wouldn't accept the money?
We're going to call on several different organizations that work on social justice issues to assist us in creating very specific action items that we're going to demand upon Sesame Place with any type of agreement that we would enter into. We're looking for real change. We don't want to do this again. No other children have to go through what these two girls have went through and experienced.
I thought you said, and I may have misunderstood this, the niece is in isolation. But this is the niece here.
This is the niece. This is Jody Brown's niece right here. Her daughter is currently in isolation.
That was my first time. That was my first time. The children have been there previously. With the school. With the school.
Okay, let's take a couple more questions and then go on some of that.
The blue backpack.
Now with the blue backpack?
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
This Brown, is she a New Yorker?
Yes.
What?
Yes, I am.
Yes, okay. go off and come. Let's go back.
Hey, it's the presser. Mother speaks about Sesame Place character ignoring her daughter. I think it was. A viral video, the Sesame character ignoring two black children has surfaced. The mother of the children is speaking to the news about the incident in front of Sesame Street Workshop. Oh, they did it in front of Sesame Street Workshop in NYC. All right. So let's take a look at some of the videos again. Here's a different example. This is not the girl. There's one. Let me take a look at the other one. Multiple instances. Oh, this is supposedly, I saw somebody posted. They said that Bert had slapped one of the kids, but I couldn't really tell. Let's see. What he did? I don't know. Hold on. Like he did like a. Oh, well, I don't know. Maybe did he, or did he just wave his hand? But her face looks almost like she dodged it, like she tried to dodge it. I don't know. Oh no. The sleuth's gonna have to break this one down. But it almost looked like she reacted to it. I don't know. Or she just, let me see. Slowly. Yeah. And she's like looking at him like, what the F? Let me see what else we got. So I guess they're going and looking up people are pulling up a bunch of different clips now. Stop being so sensitive. The same Sesame character can barely see out of that suffocating costume. Let's see. I don't know. Let's see what they're saying.
Look at Elmo.
Uh-oh. I don't know. So this kid's trying to get attention. Can't, I guess. And look like he went and hugged this girl. We'll have to see what we find on TikTok, man. What do you guys think? Reach? For real? They got a case? I don't know, man. Let's see what else we got. And they're saying Rosita again. But is it the same character? I mean, the same person in the costume? Or is that a different person playing Rosita? Let me pull up this. I mean, it sucks for the kid, you know, if you're getting ignored, you want attention or whatever. I mean, I don't know. We just saw that one. This one's kind of hard to say. Tariq Nasheed posted this, and he said the employee who performs in the Rosita costume seems to engage in a pattern of deliberately ignoring black children who tries to engage with the character. This employee needs to be fired today. That was 2 days ago. Unless Sesame Place condones this type of anti-black energy. So this is the one where the mother's talking, and her niece, her daughter, and her niece are there. I guess this has 9 million views. I mean, to me, he clearly said no to them. They're trying to say that he said no to a parent wanting, I think, the child to be picked up or something like that, or hugged or some shit. But then he kind of he looked down at them. He's just like, no. Can we get the character to speak out? What's their story? This is Ben Crump. And so he said multiple video highlights. Let's take a look. Oh, he's seeing out of the mouth? Is that how it is?
Get a hug, Mom. Well, go stand over there and see what happens. Get a hug, Mom.
Walk right by.
Well, go stand over there and see what happens.
You see my son?
Oh, yeah. But I think there's some kid. Well, let me see. That's kind of. He says hi to that one. Yeah. Oh, he stopped. He did stop. I don't know. All the little kids right here. It's kind of saying hi. Little. I mean, the angle's a little tough, kind of, but you can see. And I don't know. He pulled up to these little kids here, and he's kind of like, nah, fuck that. That's what it looked like.
You see my son? Wow, he went to the white people.
Oh, Jesus.
White people. Wow, he went to the white people. Wow, he went to the white people.
I don't know. That's pretty interesting. Oh, this one was the check. This woman check the Elmo. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh, she got canceled too for saying that word though. Oh, she checked Elmo. Damn. Oh, Jesus. Oh. Oh. Wow.
Has got a real serious problem with the people who are their performers in those character costumes. That one lady's video has gone viral. We talked about it earlier, right? There are other videos now coming out of characters at Sesame Place ignoring black children. Here's one.
Get a hug, Mom. see what happened.
But wait, there's more. Watch that little girl with the braids.
All right. Let me, I'm almost afraid to call this guy. Let me call James and see what he has to say. And then we'll end the live because I have an appointment I got to go to. I think this story might develop because I'm really curious. I think people are probably going to find more clips either for or against, and it should be interesting. And I feel like we need the costume people to come up and talk too. Where's the costume people at? James, I want to call you right now. I can't do video because I don't have it set up, but I can at least call you, get you on voice. And you got 10 minutes maybe. And then I gotta haul ass out of here. What do you guys think in the chat? You know what? Let me do a vote. Let's do a vote too, a poll. It's anonymous. Let's do a poll.
Hello, this is Jim.
Jim, what's up, man? How you doing?
Are we live on the air?
We're live.
Hey, listen, I am huge into this. By the way, have you checked your email?
No.
I sent you the 2 stories involving the other 2 characters that went down this exact same road. So go ahead and check those out, complete with photographs. Okay. What is the big skinny guy's name from Minions? The bad guy looks like Gargamel from the Smurfs.
I don't know.
He's on there.
Yeah.
He's on there doing a KKK sign on a little black kid's shoulder. And then you got another one where the white rabbit wouldn't touch black kids at a park. This whole Sesame Street gimmick deal, where did this happen at? What theme park did this happen at?
So it's called Sesame Place, and this one is in Philadelphia, I believe.
In Philadelphia, okay. Yeah, 2 places you will never catch me in, the city of Philadelphia and Sesame Place. But now a lot of people, I don't know if they know who I am on your show. I'm a private investigator. Been a private investigator for 6 years. I've been on your show a lot. I'm also... went to college at Clark Atlanta University. So as a white student athlete, I went to an HBCU, a historically black college and university, studied black history.
They're saying
so I'm very versed in this.
Yes, go ahead.
So I'm very versed in this. So as a private investigator, what you got to do in a situation like this, Icky, is I started looking into Rosita. That is the bilingual Muppet.
Mm-hmm.
So I ran a background check on Rosita. And I'd like to read you what I found.
Go ahead, please.
Yeah, so in 2009, Rosita was busted for petty theft at a Walmart. 2005, bad check writing, 2 checks at a grocery store called Publix in Florida. In 2004, Rosita was busted for driving without a valid plates. Drug paraphernalia in 2004. Rosita's criminal record goes back to 1999 with a dog at large. I guess it was a pit bull. Domestic violence in 1997. She beat the shit out of Kermit the Frog with a crutch or something at a barbecue. And in 1995, assault with a deadly weapon. I can't find anything previous to 1991, which I believe was her birth date. But Muppets age faster than people, and I think it's like 12 to 1 year. So already in 1993, she was already like 36 years old. So the problem here is Rosita is a violent Muppet, and the people in Sesame Street have known this for years, but they try to get these expunged. The other thing I'd like to talk about is with all the problems, affecting the black community right now. I mean, absentee fathers, gun control, black on black crime. Yeah. It's good to see that there was such a major media turn today for a racist Muppet. You know what I mean? So I wanted to talk a little bit about those on the programs because these are all things the public needs to know.
That's true.
Have you seen the email?
You mean? So yeah, I'm pulling it up right now on the. I mean, that's a really good. It's interesting that you say that. I kind of have to agree with that last 2, 3, 4 sentences you said. Oh yeah, I'm looking at the white rabbit allegedly snubbed black children. I see that. I never knew about this. I never heard of this story.
Now, this white rabbit, I have seen at parties in Las Vegas before. Are you putting the picture of the white rabbit up?
Yeah.
I saw this white rabbit, and I don't believe the rabbit's racist, Icky. I think the problem here is the rabbit has a drug problem. I was at a party at the MGM Grand Casino in Las Vegas about 10 years ago, and I saw somebody lay out a rail of Coke, and this rabbit snorted that line of Coke and then danced and played slot machines for the next 2 days. It was incredible. He was actually the one that gave him the Coke was Chuck E. Cheese. I don't know if you know who Chuck E. Cheese is. He is a major narcotic stealer in the Southeast. Major.
Let me ask you something.
Yeah.
So this whole thing, because with the comment you just made, I mean, are you saying that, like, yeah, we see this issue going on and this has happened before, but like you're saying that these people are rallying over this incident where there's like kids getting shot every day, underage kids?
There was like 55 kids shot in Chicago last weekend, and the community goes and they've got attorneys and all this. This is a money grab. And listen, two wrongs don't make a right. I know people in all seriousness that are in those costumes. I grew up in the state of Florida. A lot of buddies of mine did everything from Halloween Horror Nights to Mickey Mouse to just because somebody's in a Minnie Mouse outfit or a Big Bird costume doesn't make them great people. We're talking about people making $14 an hour to run. I mean, they're probably frustrated with you can't get people for $16 an hour to work at Panda Express. You put these people in a costume, you put them out there, and they're in 100-degree weather. Okay, they're walking around on the thing, kids pulling on them, and you know what? That doesn't make an excuse for not touching black kids, but it doesn't mean that you don't have a racist person in a costume.
Right.
Maybe that person, maybe that person is black. Maybe that person is Hispanic. Maybe that person is white. I don't know. That's what it seems like they really want to know, because if the person is some white guy and then they do a background check on him and find out he's got a history of this, but then again, who the hell are you going to get for $14 an hour to go to Philadelphia and dance around in a Rosita costume?
I wonder how much
Especially with her
it's
background.
probably rough. It's a rough job, probably, right? It's probably long hours, and maybe, I don't know, you're on your feet all the time.
You're on your feet. Now, some of those costumes, the bigger ones like Mickey Mouse and all, they have little air conditioning units in them, believe it or
Really?
not. But oh God, yeah, some of them do. Yeah, I mean, you think the guy that's walking around as Chewbacca in Disney World is doing that in 114-degree weather? With some of those things have small little air conditioning. I don't want to say like AC units, but they circulate the air in there. If you watch Rosita, you can see that when Rosita walks around, they virtually have a bodyguard with them. There was a woman in a yellow shirt that's supposed to keep you from doing that. Now, listen, could the person in that costume not like little black kids? It looks like it. You know what I mean? But then again, I mean, do we need a major press conference in the middle of Philadelphia with all the bad shit going on? By the way, why don't white people go and walk in South Philadelphia down any street there with nobody in costumes and see how that goes? I've been to South Philadelphia. Go around the Temple University campus and see how that goes. Make sure you wear a Trump hat. They're hoping that something like this comes, Icky, and I have a reason why.
What's that?
Football season starts in 2 weeks. 2 weeks, the National Football League season kicks off, and none of this shit is going to matter. None of this stuff is going to make news. We've got 14 days left of blank slate media coverage. Once the National Football League starts, high school football, kids go back to school, back to school shopping. None of these little stories are going to matter. I just don't think. But you tell me. I mean, so they're doing what they can while they can and hope that they get paid to do it. Was that character probably racist? Yeah. Is it are these kids going to be traumatized for the rest of their life? Well, probably after that press conference. But hopefully they get a couple of $100,000. Hey, listen, nothing traumatizes a kid in downtown Philadelphia like a fucking press conference about a Sesame Street character. Meanwhile, we got kids being molested and fiddled at schools, dating teachers, but, the Sesame Street character didn't give them a dap. You'll be okay. Is that how soft the community has gotten? What say you?
Shit. I mean, like I said, I agree with the statement that you made as far as like, there's all this. It's interesting that they do a full on press conference for this, but there's a bunch of other stuff, missing people, dead kids being molested, all kinds of shit. I mean, I agree with that. And it's, I mean, it's too bad for the kid. Like, I don't know what I would do in that situation. I'd probably be upset, and I'd probably move on to, I don't know. I'd probably move on to try to get another doll or something, or whatever those fluffy things are, to see if I can get them to do whatever, like, give my daughter a hug or
what
something like that.
What does that park cost to get into? Do you know? What's it, $89 to get into that park?
Is it?
First of all, anybody paying I'd love to know if you could do some research. And by the way, this isn't the first time this has happened. Mm-hmm. They had a press conference, so it'll get more press. The White Rabbit video is, in all due respect, is way worse.
Really? There's a video for that?
Oh, look at the video. It's all over YouTube. That happened years ago. You see, I got guys I play arena football with, buddies of mine that went to HBC as black guys. And anytime some shit like this happens, I call them. And I already called them this morning. And the first thing they said is, you know, what black family goes to Sesame Street parks? Like they go, as kids, we never went to those, or we don't take our children there. Not that this kind of shit would happen, but who the hell's got that kind of time and that kind of money? Anybody that pays $100 to take their kids to a Sesame Street park in Philadelphia needs their fucking head examined, first of all. Second of all, you know, they say our kids get, you know, discriminated against every day. Every day our kids get discriminated against. You don't hold a press conference and tell the fucking park they got 12 hours to respond. You know what that does? There's a whole section of the world right now that says, see, look at how those people are acting. You're going to get that in any sort of a story like this. You're going to divide people.
Of course.
These kids were screwed with. They were obviously that whoever was in that character. By the way, how would you like to be the character playing Rosita?
Oh my God, I'd be scared of shit.
Can you imagine?
and not just that person, but all Rositas now have to be careful. Anybody in that costume now. I did a poll.
Definitely.
I did a poll and asked if this is racism, and it's pretty mixed. It's 52%, no, 51% say yes, 49% say no. So it's like pretty kind of even.
Yes. You know what the result of this is going to be? You know what the result of this is going to be?
What?
You don't touch the characters. Watch from the fucking sidelines.
It could be.
Watch from the side. They just ruined it for everybody. And the person in that costume ruined it for everybody. But take it with a grain of salt. You know what I mean? You know what I'd like to see, and then I'm done ranting? I'd like to see the rest of their day's videos. Did every character snub her children? Or was it just Rosita?
That's what I'm curious about that too. And I feel like people are now probably going to go and pull up other compilations. Because I'm curious to see if this has happened to other kids too, or is it just black kids? Like, is somebody out there going to go do a compilation video and show other kids, you know, Latino, maybe white, whatever? And I'm also curious. I've never been in one of those costumes. People are saying we should try on a costume and see what it looks like or what it feels like. Or
they're brutal. They're brutal. But listen, whoever's in that costume, he or she, I would almost wonder if it's not a woman. And by the way, if you're in that costume right now, can you imagine? You know, there's people in that character's life. There's whoever was in that costume. There's a half a dozen people around that person that knows what they do for a living. And right now, if I knew my next door neighbor was Rosita, I would call up and say, "Hey, listen, I know who Rosita is. You know what I mean? It's Bob from next door. He does that 12 hours a week." So it's just a matter of time before they rat out Rosita. But there might be 5 people playing the character.
Somebody said Winnie the Pooh was racist towards my white son.
Yeah, there's bunches of these. There was one, you know, I don't want to get too much into this, but I was, I don't know how to say this because it is kind of personal, but when I was a little kid, I got a hand job from Yogi the Bear at Six Flags, and it traumatized me.
Are you serious or are you just kidding? You got to be kidding.
No, I'm just kidding. God bless, Vicky. I'll call you later.
All right, later. What's wrong with this guy, yo? Oh, my God. Let me see the video he's talking about with this Walt Disney thing. Fuck, yo.
Racism by a San Diego County family. Jason and Anelia Black claim their young children were treated differently by the White Rabbit character from Alice in Wonderland. They say it was because of their skin color. The family says the actor in the rabbit costume refused to touch the 2 African-American children and acted impatiently as the kids posed for a picture. But they say it was a completely different scene when a white family arrived.
Do we have video?
This white boy, he started hugging on the little girl, kissing on it, and hugging the boy, and they're white.
There was 2 other kids that came up, and the rabbit showered them. I mean, he hugged them, kissed them, posed with them, and took pictures. Meanwhile, that made my kids feel horrible.
The family immediately filed a complaint and says that they were offered VIP tickets. Later, they say they were offered $500 and asked to sign a confidentiality agreement.
Ooh,
but they turned
they want to
both
shut him
offers
up.
down. They've now hired an attorney and are demanding a public apology and the firing of the employee involved. We did call Disney for a statement, but so far...
Well, I don't know, man. I got to head out of here because I got this appointment. I will... Let's see, Rat. Yeah, I will keep an eye on this, I guess. just to see what happens. I feel like people are gonna find more videos and stuff. Will they win this? If it becomes a lawsuit, which it looks like I will they win this? I don't know. Will they settle? Will Sesame settle? Probably. If that happened to my kid, yeah, I'd probably feel some kind of way. I don't know that I'd go through all these means or whatever. Like I said, I mean, it's hard to say because unless you're in it, I'd probably just either I'd say something or I'd move on, maybe to another character just to try to make my daughter happy. But, and again, I don't know what it's like in those costumes. A lot of people feel some type of way about this. They say this has been happening when they go to the, let's see, 2 year. Okay, so Diggs pulled up. It's $99 to get inside this place. And also, I don't think there's anything wrong with paying $100 or whatever it is you pay to take your kid somewhere. I've never been to the Sesame thing, but like I've done other things, or I take my daughter places. You end up paying money, you know. I really would be curious though to have on one of these costume people, the people of the costumes, to call in or something and give a little story or background. You know, I was surprised with Terry's take on it, because when I spoke to him and I muted the mic before I called him, he told me that he believes it is a racist incident. Like he said, he believes it's racist. But I guess when I called him, he kind of still had the same sentiment. He says possibly racist, but he just thinks it's being blown out of proportion, and that there's just other things happening. People dying every day, multiple people, all kinds of shit going on. I feel like that too. Karen says, I don't condone racism, but I want to see more evidence. I know enough with these kinds of stories. I've watched these stories so many times. These kinds or even other stories. I know not to jump to a conclusion right at the start. So I don't want to say anything definitively. I said it does look messed up, but I'd want to see more. I'd want to see more videos of kids. Even though we've seen a couple, I'd like to see, okay, does this happen to the other kids? Can we get a compilation of somebody pulling up other videos of other kids? You know, maybe this happening, or somebody from the costume community, the furry community. Maybe the furry community can speak on this, right? What are those furry people? Those are the guys like dress in dolls and have sex and shit, right? Like they dress up in costumes. Furry community. Now they're gonna come for me too. Somebody from the furry. One of you guys in there got to be a furry. Furry fandom. Furry fandom is a subculture interested in anthropomorphic, whatever the hell, animal characters with human personalities and characteristics. Examples of anthropomorphic attributes include exhibiting human intelligence and facial expression, speaking, walking on two legs, wearing clothes. The furry community. Maybe one of the furries could talk on this shit. Right? Oh God, not the furries. Maybe they know something. More mad at the Muppet than a sex offender at Disney every few months. That is true. We did watch that presser where there was those sex offenders. I don't know how many they caught recently. And one of the catches that was it Polk County? I think it was Polk County. They caught like two or three of these people working at Disney and shit. Was it Disney? Yeah, Disney. Furries identify as animals. Sesame Place. I don't really know, man. But yeah, I'm going to head out. I'm going to call this place and see if I can still go. Thank you guys for joining me. I appreciate it. And if you're still subscribed, I appreciate it. Would a Muppet man please give Mel a call? I would love that. Yeah, after this stream, if a Muppet... Let's get the research team on it. Let's get a Muppet person. Let's do that task for today. Can we do that? Let's find somebody from a Muppet community or the furry community that can talk about this situation. Not right now, like for today, later today. Let's see if we can find that. How's that sound? Somebody's saying that's what I'm saying. The character is racist, not the employee. Still subbed. All right, I love you guys. We'll talk, man. Take care. Peace. Adios.